you up to?
Uh, just chilling a little bit at the moment. I was watching my fucking podcast, oh, Flagrant, with
Oh yeah.
yeah, they had Mr. Beast on there.
Hell yeah. Mr. Beast is he's a strange one.
What do you mean?
He's an odd dude. Fucking genius though.
Hell yeah,
Uh,
he got that shit done figured out.
oh yeah. I mean, dude is brilliant. Gives a fuck ton of money away.
Oh yeah,
He makes money by giving money.
that's one thing. Like, if I had a shit ton of money, I'd do all kinds of shit like that.
Oh, he's
Like,
he
I don't
gives
need all
10
that.
grand away. He's making 30 on the video,
Yeah,
if not more.
but then he's taking that 30 and he's fucking spending that on content too.
Mm-hmm. I don't think he's necessarily giving the money away to be a good guy. I think it's just his way of figuring out how to make more money. He found out if he makes a video give money away, people watch it.
Yeah,
Fucking brilliant.
but I think like from the way I've heard him talk anyway, then it sounds like he honestly doesn't really give a fuck about the money though.
He might not. Stop rubbing your ass on the carpet. Don't look at me weird when I say that. It's fucking weird you rubbing your ass on the carpet. You are a strange dog.
Shit,
Oh, look.
rub my ass wherever the fuck I want to rub my ass, motherfucker.
I'm gonna get each one of y'all a cracker. Here, cracker. You missed it, you goober. But, cracker. Got it that time. This man.
Who
That's
you
my
got?
hand. Ew, cry. Almost lost a finger.
Mm.
A little slower, you won't fucking choke on it. God, you are special. I love y'all, but Jesus.
Boy, I went in there and took that fucking goddamn math test today.
Mm-hmm.
We had an hour and a half to get it done. I did that bitch in like fucking 20 minutes.
Oh shit!
Hell yeah.
Think you done pretty good on it.
Yeah, I got my score back. I got a 94.
Damn,
Fucked it up.
killing it.
Hell yeah.
Fuck that shit up. Hell yeah. That's what's up.
It's funny because
Boy,
like when I've been in class doing the shit, I ain't actually been doing the math shit. I just been in there coding while I'm in math.
working on some shit that you enjoy.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's why I got
too
so far
good.
ahead. Oh, I forgot to tell you. I finished lab and assignment 6, and that took me to the end of October. And I was about to start on the lab for 7, but the instructions for the lab and assignment on 7 and 8 don't work. So I had to send her an email, and she got back with me today saying that she was going to check it out, figure out how to get it to work, and then let me know. So I'm a
Damn,
month ahead
boy.
in that fucking class right now, though.
Oh man. Do you take another coding class next semester?
I don't have my schedule and shit set up for it yet, but I will be.
Sweet.
Yeah, once I finish this pre-calc that I'm doing now, then I can start getting into my other coding classes.
Boy, you're gonna be doing some crazy shit next semester.
I'm gonna start. I'm gonna be learning a new language, so it'll be working from the ground up again.
What, like a new coding language?
Yeah, I'm doing
Bullshit.
Python right now, and the next one, I can't remember if it's Java or JavaScript.
Okay.
I keep getting told both, so I don't know.
Yeah.
So I'm buying me a new calculator for school, right? Like right now, I got the one on my phone, but you can't use your phone even if you're using the calculator. You can't use phone in class for
Really?
or for tests and shit like that. I got the fucking calculator and shit on my laptop, but you can't use your computer during the tests. And the calculator I do have, I bought from the bookstore for like $20. Like it just does basic shit. I mean, it's scientific, so it does like more advanced stuff, but it ain't like it can't do a whole lot. So I was looking around at them TIs, and I found one that does all kinds of shit, and you can program it with Python.
For real?
So I can program my own shit and fucking throw it in my calculator.
Boy, you gonna be cheating?
Mm-hmm. I mean, it ain't cheating. Shit. If you're doing the shit in the real world, you ain't gonna be restricted. So I mean, what the fuck's the matter in school, right? I'm learning the shit. I know the shit.
It's kind of how I feel with math. Like, I don't need to be able to multiply 12 times 47, in my head.
Mm.
I have a fucking phone. I have calculators. I have a million things to come up with that.
Yeah.
I kind of feel the same way with like memorizing certain things. Like I don't need to know the capital of fucking Utah. That's fucking pointless information. I can
Yeah.
Google it. I can find that.
Yeah.
So
We kind of talked about this a little bit in Spanish class the other day. We showed a video of like people who come from Spanish speaking families and the differences in education versus household and stuff, you know. And she was like, "Well, what do you guys think? Do you guys have any thoughts or opinions on the matter? You know, what's up?" And nobody wanted to say shit. And finally, one person said something about like revamping and adding more like culture and ethics into schools. And I was like, I think they just need to revamp all of education.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, to be real, they just I mean, it's kind of like a trick
Education
now.
needs to be up. It needs to be updated.
Yeah, yeah. Like it used to be a. I don't want to say good thing as opposed to a bad thing now, but it used to be a whole lot better than it is now. But now it's just
Yeah.
like there's been so many fucking advances in everything that the format of education from the ground up, like preschool, kindergarten, all of it, needs to be changed.
Oh, I agree. Because technology. I mean, you just got to revamp it for technology.
Yeah,
The same. People don't need to memorize shit anymore.
yeah. Like never
Right.
before in history has information been so readily accessible as it has now, or as it is now.
Oh, fucking insane.
Yeah.
How
And
much?
then if Elon works out that whole fucking Neuralink thing, then I mean education is
That's
going to be fucking
scary.
pointless.
Yeah. I'm not for the Neuralink. I'm for it, like for fixing and repairing things. Like if you're paralyzed, okay,
Yeah,
or you got some type of brain damage. All right.
I can see
I
both
I
ends
just
of it.
I'm
Like,
scared of it.
yeah, yeah. Like on the one hand, it's like when do I lose my humanity? You know.
Mm,
But on the
not
other
even worried
end,
about that.
oh really?
I'm worried. Yeah, I'm not worried about that. Because I don't think you lose your humanity. I mean, I think you still have feelings and shit, unless they just knock feelings out, and then that's kind of weird. But
I don't think so. Because one of the things that we're talking about was like correcting like mental issues, like anxiety, depression, shit like that. Because it would
it
be
wouldn't be a
leveling out
terrible thing.
your chemicals and shit.
Yeah, that's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
Um, my scared part about it is people can hack a computer and a cell phone.
People can hack
What's
your brain.
preventing them from exactly? What's preventing them from hacking your Neuralink?
Well, they can do that now.
What?
That's what. Yeah, yeah. Like magicians and hypnotists and shit.
Oh,
That's all they do. Advertising. That's all they do.
yeah, but um, I guess what I'm saying is like they might be able to literally tap in and take your memories and take everything like from across the world.
True.
You
True.
know, if they tap into the Neuralink system, you know, if you just walked up and you know you're looking at your social security number and your bank information, they can literally access that from your Neuralink
True.
because they have access to it. That's what scares me. Or it could go even further. What if, like you know, a hypnotist, they can access it and make you do things? Or what if they can take control of you? Where does it stop? You know,
I feel you.
that's what scares me about it.
Yeah. But then, like, I'm sure you've seen him talk about the shit and stuff. But he's essentially saying that it's like the lesser of the two evils because it's either we merge with AI and technology in a more direct fashion than just having your cell phone as part of you, or it's going to develop on its own separate from us, and it's going to get to the point where we can't control it anymore.
Oh yeah, no, he makes multiple
So
very good points.
yeah,
Um,
in that aspect, I would rather get ahead of the curve and get everything going with Neuralink as opposed to being some like fucking real world Matrix shit.
yeah, yeah, no, I can get on board with that part. I'm just scared of like people taking your over you. Like,
Oh yeah,
what if they, yeah, like that would be terrifying. Like, you're just sitting there in the background, and somebody from a computer across the world is literally just controlling you.
yeah. Mm,
And there's nothing you can do about it because they have full access to your brain because
yeah.
you fucking had a Neuralink installed.
Hell yeah. It'd be
What do
like
you
that fucking
what do you do?
was that Gamer, the name of the movie with fucking
Yeah, yeah.
what's his dick?
Um, Butler, Gerard Butler, maybe
Yeah, yeah,
whatever it is. Yeah, I think that's who
yeah.
it
Yeah.
is. Yeah,
With,
exactly.
that kid's in
Fucking
like a
exact.
fucking VR room and just fucking going to town and he's really controlling another person. That shit
Yeah.
crazy.
Okay. See, I didn't even think about that movie, but exactly like that is what my brain pictures.
Yeah.
Like that's terrifying.
See,
That's what scares me about it.
I'm more terrified of like virtual reality getting to a point to where you can't distinguish it from reality than the
Oh,
Neuralink. Because
what if we're
once
on it?
it's yeah, that's the thing. Like once it's indistinguishable from reality, like once you plug in and deep enough and shit gets good enough to where you can't tell the difference just from looking around if you're in VR or not in VR. You'd never know if you're in VR or not in VR.
That's yes. You never know. You fucking never know that you got out or you're still in or you in twice. Like it's fucking
Yeah,
impossible.
yeah. Like
And that's where
I
we can be
took my
now.
fucking headset off, but maybe I didn't.
Yeah.
Maybe it just
Maybe I took my head. Maybe I took my headset off inside of the VR.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Mm-hmm. Oh, straight up Matrix shit at that point.
yeah. Like
That's
you're
literally.
in and you don't even know it.
Yep. There's a lot of scary shit that's coming. Um, I mean, the Neuralink's one of them that really terrifies. Like I said, it just scares me of what is possible of it,
Yeah, I could definitely see that.
especially because everything gets weaponized in the
Mm,
world. No matter if it's good or not, it's going to get weaponized, and the government's going to weaponize it.
yeah. Like
So, if you
one part
believe
of
a
me,
certain way, what stops the government from just shutting you down?
yeah, and
Oh,
one part of me wants
you
to,
don't like Joe Biden? You're dead.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Like I said, one part of me wants to be against it for that same reason, but then the other part is like, I mean, if it can do more good than harm, I think it would be a good thing. But making sure that there were enough controls in place is necessity either way.
Yeah,
Even if it
making
does get
sure.
implemented and shit goes fucking wrong, like complete fucking left field, if there were enough controls in place before it gets implemented, I mean, that's just chalk it up to fucking that was gonna happen anyway.
Yeah,
But
I mean that's
yeah,
like I was just saying another one that I didn't even really think of. Like if the government can access it, that's even scarier than a fucking hacker accessing it. Is the government having access to it?
Yeah. Well, so there's two different things that I've went over that are real similar to this in school. One of them was in psychology, and it was a short story written by a dude. I can't remember who wrote it, but it was written as if it was an actual recounting of events from the past. And this dude essentially got his brain removed from his body, and it was operating inside a room and sending signals to his body. So his body was in a completely different place than his brain. And so, like, that story was trying to figure out, like, are you your person or are you your brain? You know? But that combined with one of the short stories we read in English, where it was, we're being told the story about this guy who has a chip planted in his brain from birth, pretty much. And it's slowly studying him and learning to be him. And at one point later on in the future, when he becomes an adult, then he can completely remove his brain, replace it with this spongy shit, and the chip that was in his brain takes over. So it's like him, but it's non-biological him. You know what I mean?
I understand.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm scared of that too.
yeah.
I
But
mean,
that was where I was talking about, like,
no,
losing the humanity side of thing. Because in that, it's like the whole time you're going through the story, you think that you're talking to the person or the person is talking to you. You know, but then at the end of
yeah,
the story, you find out that you've been seeing it from the chip's perspective the entire time. So the chip thought it was him the entire time, and he thought that the fuck ups that were going on later on in the story was the chip malfunctioning. But turns out it was the chip malfunctioning, but he was the chip.
the whole dude.
Yeah,
Fuck that shit.
yeah.
I'm not putting. I'm sorry. I don't think I can put a chip in my brain. I mean, also, here's another thing. If everybody has access to everything instantaneously because they're all plugged into the same network,
Hmm.
what's the point?
What's what's the point of what?
What's the point of anything? You have no point to travel. You have no point to learn. You have no point to do. You
And
have no
you
point to
you have
experience because you
all
can
of
all you
human
can.
knowledge in your pocket
Yeah, but
right now.
yeah, but it's a pocket. But I'm talking about like experience things. Like I mean, like if it's just tapped into your brain, I mean, like there would be no point in experiencing anything because you could just instantly, just oh, okay, here's what it's like skydiving. Here's what it's like,
I mean,
you
the
know,
the only
flying a
difference
fighter
would
plane.
be, see, this is where it gets into what is it to be human kind of deal, though, because if you're actually physically going through that experience, the only difference from doing it in virtual reality, like if you had the Neuralink, the only difference would be the physical sensation. But that same physical sensation you're feeling from, say, skydiving, of the wind rushing past you and all of that, can be simulated because it's all just electrical current.
Yeah, and if it's tapped into your brain, it's not like watching it on a screen. I mean, it
You're
can literally
actually
simulate
feeling
that.
it.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So there would be no reason to go do anything because
But
you
you
could
would
just
be going to do
experience
it.
it
Like I said, the only difference is your
virtually.
physicality.
Yeah, you're
You would be
virtually
able
doing
to,
it.
your skin would feel the exact same feeling the wind fly past you when you're skydiving in the Neuralink as it would if you were actually doing it. Your
Yeah.
hair would blow the
Um.
same. Your stomach would drop just the same. Like everything you see would be exactly the same. So it would be experiencing it.
Yeah, you would lose your humanity right there, wouldn't you?
Your physical humanity, yeah.
Yeah.
Like I mean, yeah,
Gone.
you could have a physical body, but at the same time, if you can have Neuralink,
Point.
then I mean, we've already gotten to the point where people's DNA has been stored, people's brains have been sliced up and encoded and matched up into computers and stored in databases. Like all of this different shit's going on to where eventually consciousness will be able to be digital. Like we are working in that direction. So, I mean, that would just be the first step, you know, link everybody together. And then once we can make our conscious digital, then even if something happens to your physical body, you're still part of the Neuralink. You're still connected. You're still alive. You're just not physically alive.
Till the system drops.
True. True. They pull the plug.
And
And
then
he's like, oh.
everyone dies at once. 6
Yeah.
billion people. Gone.
But then, are you considered artificial intelligence at that point? Like, if you've got
You're not-
Neuralink and you're connected to everything, and we get to a point where
Yours.
your consciousness can be saved digitally, something happens to you physically, and you no longer have a physical body, but you're still alive inside the Neuralink, are you alive?
No, I don't think so.
Even if your conscious is still going, you can still think and form sentences and converse with people and do things. Everything's the same. You can even experience things physically inside the Neuralink. You just don't have a physical body anymore. Your physical body has become a hard drive, essentially, or the cloud, or whatever you want to fucking.
Then you gotta ask the question: what does it mean to be alive?
Then we can.
Then it gets
Yeah.
difficult. Is alive, living, breathing,
Mm.
moving?
I mean,
you know,
technically,
or
would the definition change,
alive.
or would it?
I don't know. That's
'Cause, I
where
mean,
that's where
we can go back to
yeah.
Descartes with the whole "I think, therefore I am." So if you can still think, you still are. You exist because you can form your own thoughts,
Yeah,
not influenced by others. But
that gets difficult.
biologically,
And
you would not be alive.
no, you're dead. You're no longer
Yeah.
biological.
So
at that
are
point.
you artificial intelligence?
I think at the point that you upload your consciousness to the system and leave your body behind, yes, I believe at that point you are artificial intelligence.
What if you could upload your current consciousness and continue to live your physical life? So there's two of you.
Then the part of you living your physical life is still biologically alive, but the other part is AI.
Even though
then
it
at
can
that point-
think and feel and do everything that you can do, it just doesn't have a body.
This doesn't have a body. Its body is artificial. So you are.
But the
and you
intelligence is
actually. No, but it is. You're artificial at that point, and but you still have intelligence. So I guess you would technically be artificial intelligence.
Dum dum dum.
Yeah, like I think. Yeah, I think that's what you would be. But
But the means of storing and housing the intelligence is artificial, but the intelligence itself is not artificial.
I think at the point that it leaves the biological part of you behind, it becomes artificial.
Hmm.
Like I think that would be how it would be defined. Because I mean, you're no longer. I mean, what's the difference? I mean, you have what biological intelligence and then artificial intelligence. What's the definition of artificial? That's what we're gonna come up with.
Like man-made.
Okay, so then that point
Like
you
fake,
would be artificial.
But
Yeah.
that's what I'm
You're-
saying though. Like the means of storing it would be artificial, but your consciousness would not be artificial. It wasn't something that was created. It was something that, or it wasn't something that man created. It was something that just created in nature.
Yeah.
So your intelligence is natural, but the means of it being stored would be artificial.
Okay. I guess everything you learned up until the point that you installed the Neuralink was regular intelligence. Everything after that would be artificial intelligence, I think.
So would
Right.
you have like multiple personalities?
You could. But I just feel like everything that you learned, everything that you experienced before you installed the Neuralink would just be you. And then everything after that, I think at that point you might become artificial intelligence because it's man, because at that point it's man-made intelligence.
Mm,
Everything that you're learning, everything that you're experiencing is man-made at that point,
mm.
right?
Ooh. Okay.
Maybe.
I just thought of another question, and if this jumps too far off, let me know. But so this is like some more along the lines of like alternate timeline, multiple dimension type shit. All right, so imagine, like, you know how, like, since robots and AI and all that stuff has come into the public discourse, how it's always been met with the fear of robots and shit taking over.
Yeah.
Okay, so what if AI is not able to be created? Like, we can get close, like with the shit that we have now, but true artificial intelligence can never actually be created. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay. So, what if, because of shit like Neuralink, we find a way to store our own personalities and our own consciousness, and then it eventually loses its humanity over time, and that's what becomes the artificial intelligence that takes over humanity and just uses humans to farm itself so that it has more and more inside of it.
Okay. I believe for okay, but it after it initially becomes the artificial intelligence,
Mm-hmm.
does it have a purpose for humans anymore? Like, what purpose would there be for humans at that point? You don't need more.
The
Like, you don't
more,
need
well,
you
the
don't need more consciousness.
when it comes to machine learning and AI, the more connections you have, the smarter it is, essentially. The more it can figure out. So the more nodes you have, the more um, fucking, like, whatever criteria you want to break it down to, the more you have, the smarter you are. So if you get more, you can do more. So whereas, like, say maybe one or two people inside the Neuralink as consciousness, not just connected to it as a human, but one or two of those might, you know, that they might not have as much like RAM, I guess, is the best equivalent I can think of, or CPU. I don't know which one would be more apt, but the more you add to them, like, say instead of two or three, now you've got, like, say 500, and then you've got like fucking 10 million.
But
You would be
at the
able
same
to.
time, would it be like a hard drive and get full?
That is a good question,
Hmm.
because I would assume that it's going to be some sort of cloud storage, which could be expanded upon.
Yeah, but cloud storage is basically just
The hard
cloud
drive
storage
and
uses, yeah,
yeah,
it's hard drive somewhere.
but that's what
It
I'm saying.
uses
But
physical storage.
like, it could be
But
expanded on, though. Like, if you're in
I
one
could,
hard drive, you're limited to that one hard drive. If you're in cloud, you could theoretically access any hard drive that's connected.
hmm I could see using humans as slaves
Yeah,
to build more hard drives.
yeah. Because we've seen what happens when AI beats the internet. It just immediately gets fucking like racist and shit.
Oh yeah, it gets terrible
Yeah,
because it just uses, yeah, it uses the internet to
yeah,
learn, and what it learns is terrible.
yeah. And then, like, would it have access to, like, the dark web?
I would assume, yeah, you'd have access to everything.
That's crazy. So the dark web could be like VR chat. Like, I don't know if you've ever seen VR chat, but you can. like you're in this one main area that has these different portals and shit, and you can go through the portals that take you to different places, and you can like create your own place and have access to it and shit. Da 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 da.
Or does the dark web maintain itself, and that's the last bit of humanity communicates on the dark web?
I dig it. I dig it.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And the entire time, the AI is trying to gain access to the dark web, and the hackers of the world are fighting it off.
Hell yeah. Once
We have a plot.
demonized, now are heroes.
We have a plot to a movie, sir.
I know it, man. We need to get to work.
Yeah, like straight up.